Okay. There you're saying that you gave the car to Javante, who gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was the finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You're the one that was going back and forth with Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You've called his brother a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
All right, y'all, so it got very dramatic in the final moments of court today. I was actually producing this video. I was downloading it to put it on YouTube, and I saw what was happening. So I went back to capture the very last part. That's going to be at the end of the video. I'm leaving the audio the way it was so you can see where I was when I was watching the end. And then at the end of this video, you're going to see the dramatic close from Max Schart. So here we go with the original video, and then at the end, you'll see what happened after, as I was uploading this to YouTube. All right, y'all. So today, Brian still wrapped up his cross-examination of Woody Copeland. And it is Woody, y'all. It's not Woody. It's Woody. We're about to prove that for y'all. We did that in the previous video. We're going to do it again here. Then we won't have to revisit this. But anyway, still wrapped up his cross of Woody, and then we move on to Schart. Now, Schart was cooking, y'all. This whole video is about Schart, and Schart was cooking. I don't feel like Schart really brought it home the way he wanted to, but he elicited some very serious, powerful testimony from Woody about being in jail. As you're going to see, there was actually a really funny moment, so you'll know it when you see it, y'all. I put a blue arrow on it, a blue arrow on Hilton. Just watch her reaction. And also, Schart continually pointed out all the times that Woody lied, made things up, etc., etc. And also not captured on my video here, but something else that happened after is that Schart continued to plant the possibility that Woody and his friend Threat were responsible for Donovan Thomas. He brought out more evidence about that, but we've seen Steele really go over that previously. So without further ado, can you just stop what you're doing right now, please, and hit the like button? Like, it's just literally a tap, please. We're working for y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, but at least like. Come on, y'all. All right, let's get into it.
It's not Woody, right? So I watched the video that you posted up, and there was an explanation. So could you tell us how the name is pronounced?
It's Woody. Woody.
Yeah.
Yes. Woody.
Where'd that come from?
My mom.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Mm-hmm. That's right.
We good? Yes. All right. All right, Mr. Schart, you can proceed with your cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland.
Good afternoon.
Okay, Mr. Copeland, we have never met before. Isn't that correct?
No.
Okay. We've seen each other in the hallway.
No, we never met before.
Yeah, we never met before. My name is Max Schart, and I'm the attorney that represents Shannon Stillwell, okay?
All right.
All right. And I know you've been asked a lot of questions, and I'm going to try not to repeat questions that you've been already asked. I'm going to do my best.
All right.
All right, great. You do not want to be here today.
At all.
Okay. And the reason you don't want to be here today is not because you're scared, correct?
You know that.
Okay. It is because what you said in 2015 was lies.
You say that again?
What you said in 2015 were lies.
Right.
Okay. And specifically, when you said that Demekion Garlington told you something at that McDonald's about Mr. Stillwell, that was a lie.
Right.
You lied to get out of trouble.
Right.
You lied as part of your finesse to the police.
Right.
You've testified that if the police mentioned anyone, you were going to come up with a story about them to get yourself out of trouble.
As y'all seen.
And the police mentioned Jeffrey Williams.
Right.
They called him a big fish.
Right.
And you lied on Jeffrey Williams.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, I'm going to ask you, do you still have that listening device?
Huh?
Do you still have the listening device?
What's that?
The ear,
Earbuds.
Oh, they right here.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to play a clip for you, okay? Mr. Kokomo, could you play what has been marked DS230? And for the record, this is a clip from State's Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo, which is the June 10th, 2015 interview, and it's from 9:53:35 to 9:54:10. Regarding these lies you told in 2015, you have repeatedly told the state that they were lies, correct?
I have told everybody who listened to me.
Okay. I want to ask you about, you mentioned it briefly with Mr. Steele. Remember that on June 10th of this year, we're talking about this year now. Remember when you were in the judge's chambers?
I'm listening.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And just so we're clear, you didn't request to speak to the judge or the prosecutors, did you?
I had no clue where I was going.
Okay. And you had been in jail the weekend before,
Yes.
and guards brought you to the judge's chambers.
Took me straight in there.
Okay. And when you were brought to the chambers, Miss Hilton was there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
The SWAT team.
security, whatever the word, you're saying the SWAT team. I was not there.
No, I didn't see you.
Okay. Mr. Stillwell wasn't there.
Who?
My client, Mr. Stillwell. Shannon.
No.
Okay. And none of the other defense attorneys were there.
No.
Okay. I want to ask you about some things that were said in that interview. Now, you're aware there was in that meeting on June 10th, okay? Now, you're aware that there's a transcript, correct?
I heard.
Okay. Have you seen the transcript?
It was sent to me, but I didn't never look at it.
If I ask you about things that were said in the meeting, would looking at a transcript help?
I guess.
Okay. Your Honor,
Yes.
may I approach with what's been marked as DS33, which is the transcript from the June 10th, 2020?
Yeah, but I mean, ask him about it first. Ask him about it,
Oh, okay.
and then if he needs to see it, then
Okay.
you can give it.
Okay.
You can hand it to him, but
Thank you. Don't look at this unless you need to, okay?
All right.
there you go.
Mr. Copeland, in that meeting in the judge's chambers, did you tell Ms. Hilton that you've never been truthful in your life?
Yes.
Except when you're telling them that you're a liar.
Right.
In that meeting, did you tell Ms. Hilton that, I won't get the quote. So when the police question me, they don't question me every time they lock me up. I don't know how many times that was. I done told them whatever different story I could think of to try to finesse my way out of the situation. I don't recall what I told them.
Yes.
Did Ms. Hilton tell you when talking about lying? But if I know that you are lying about that, I do not intend to do that. If I know that right now he's lying, I know he's lying, I'm not going to charge you because I don't know your reason for doing that.
Did she tell me that?
Yes.
Yes.
You were offered immunity by the state, correct? Well, not offered. I say that you didn't want immunity, but they gave you immunity.
Yes, they forced it.
Okay. To Ms. Hilton, did you tell her I did these crimes?
Yes.
And they have insisted that you testify, correct?
Yes.
They have told you it's okay if you say, I don't recall, when asked about your prior statements, correct?
Huh?
They told you you can say, well, let me back up. In preparation, the states met with you several times in June of 2024, right?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay. Take yourself back to June 2024, okay? That was before
What year this is?
This is 24, so a couple of months ago is what he means.
a couple
Okay.
months ago, right? Before you testified at all. You remember the week before you testified?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember when the state and Ms. Hilton and maybe some other people started coming to find you in the community?
Yes.
Okay. You had a lawyer at the time, right?
Yes.
His name was John Melnick?
Yes.
Okay.
Jonathan Melnick.
To your understanding, did the state, when they were trying to find you in the community, did they reach out to your attorney or did they go behind your attorney to talk to you?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
So
To your understanding?
on the relevance, I mean, we've kind of been through all of this.
Can I,
Try a different question.
was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings with Ms. Hilton in the community?
No.
They took you to the courthouse one day before you were to testify, correct?
No. 2 days.
2 days before you were to testify. And was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings?
No.
And you told the state that what you said in 2015 was lies.
I told Ms. Hilton.
Okay. I'm going to change subjects, okay? Now, I'm not going to ask anything too personal, but I'm going to ask a little bit about your life, okay? Is that okay with you?
No.
All right. Let me ask you this. At some point in your life, you lived in Mechanicsville.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And as I understand it, your life hasn't always been easy.
My life ain't never been easy.
Okay. Your life has never been easy. And there have been times where you have been in dangerous situations in your life. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about some ways that you avoid dangerous situations. Okay. When you are approaching a stoplight, a red light, do you stop at the red lights?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
It's very relevant.
I assume he's going to get to it.
Do you stop at the red lights?
Hell no.
Okay, you said hell no.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you stop at red lights?
Because I want to live.
Okay. And when you say because you want to live, what are you afraid of at red lights? What is your concern?
Somebody pulling up on the side of my car.
Someone pulling up on the side of the car and shooting you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you pull up to red lights, you might stop briefly, but then you,
I'm not stopping at all.
okay, so you just keep going.
Right through it.
Okay. I appreciate you telling us that information. And is that during the day and night?
There's no any red light.
Okay.
If the police right there, I turn off.
And you've actually told the police this in a prior interview in 2021. You told them that you don't stop at red lights, correct? You told Investigator Flores that.
Prior did.
Okay, what about tinted windows? Do you prefer to drive cars with tinted windows?
This Garrett, this must.
That's a must. Why is that a must?
So people don't know I'm in that car.
Why don't you want people to know you're in that car?
Because they like to shoot at cars.
Okay, so is that a form of self-preservation, riding around in cars with tinted windows only?
You better.
Okay. And let me ask you this: with the red lights, are you the only one that does this, or are there other people in your in Mechanicsville or in other areas that do that as well, to your knowledge?
Speculation irrelevant.
Well, he said to your knowledge, I think. I'm
To your
gonna allow
knowledge.
it.
Most of the people I know run lights.
Run lights. Okay. What about the tinted windows?
Even my sister and them got 10 windows.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask you about wearing a mask. And when I say a mask, I don't know what to call it. So maybe if you can educate me and the jurors. Talking about a cloth mask with a hole right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you call that type of mask?
Shit, different stuff. I call it a mask. Some people call it a shiesty. They just got different names to it.
Okay, I'm just going to call it a mask, but to be
All right.
clear, we're talking about the same things. And you've worn those masks before, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach you?
You may.
Mr. Copeland, I am handing you what's been marked DS29A and DS29B. Okay, are those pictures of you?
Look like it.
Okay, and are those pictures of you? You're not doing anything illegal in those pictures, correct?
No.
Okay,
I'm incorrect.
correct,
I'm not doing that illegal.
right. You are wearing those masks I talk about in those pictures, correct?
Right.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish 29A and
They're not admitted yet.
oh, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I move to admit DS 29A and 29B.
I assume this is going to be kind of the same lines of testimony. They're admitted over objection.
Mr. Kokomo, could you just publish one of them, 29A? Okay. We're going to publish 29B. Okay, now, Mr. Copeland, on your screen, that's the type of mask we're talking about, and I just want the jurors to be able to know what we're talking about. Okay. What are those masks made of?
What you mean?
Like what material?
I ain't make it.
Are they made of cloth?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you the only person to wear those masks?
No, everybody wearing them.
Everyone wears those masks. What year did you start notice everyone wearing those masks?
When COVID came,
About 2020?
when COVID would cause us to wear the mask.
Okay. And are they? Okay.
It became more like a fashion thing.
That's what I was about to ask you. It became more of a fashion thing.
Right.
Okay. And where can you buy those masks?
Shit. Anywhere.
Gas stations sell those masks?
Yeah.
Okay. Corner stores sell those masks?
Beauty supply store, all that.
Okay. They're not rare.
Huh?
They're not rare.
They're not weird.
Rare. They're not
Unusual.
unusual. They're common.
Right.
Those masks are common.
Mhm.
They come in all different colors,
Yes.
all different sizes.
Yes.
All right. Just because you're running a red light, does that mean you're committing a crime? Other than a driving infraction?
It depends on, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Well, do you do it to preserve yourself, correct? To avoid being shot.
Right.
Okay, avoiding being shot is not committing a crime, is it?
You're just protecting yourself.
Okay. When you're riding around in tinted windows, you ride around with tinted windows to the grocery store and other places you go about on your everyday life, correct?
Right.
That's an objection on this point. I just don't know if this is a relevant line of questioning.
I'm asking
Well,
because it's
it
relevant.
is cumulative.
Okay, well, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
When you're wearing that mask, you just wear that mask in your everyday life, when you're going to the store, when you're going to run errands, doing whatever, correct?
Right.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, you said that Rice Street is the worst place in the world.
Yes.
You have said that you'd rather die than go to Rice Street.
Yes.
Okay. You talked about your stay in Rice Street in, I guess it would be February 21st of 2015 when they arrested you on that probation warrant, and you stayed there for several weeks, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember exactly how long you stayed there?
Yes.
How long?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. So that would have been February 21st to the middle of March of 2015.
Yes.
Okay. And in that, first of all, in Rice Street in general, there's dorms, right?
Not where they put me at.
Well, I'm just talking about in general right now. I'm going to get to where they put you at in a
Yes.
second. There's dorms, and then within the dorms there's cells.
Yes.
Okay. And the cells, how big are the cells?
18 and some ones, 16s and other ones.
You're talking about feet?
You said cells?
Yes.
Like rooms?
Yeah. How big are the rooms?
Yeah. 18 rooms and some, 16 and some.
The individual rooms are small, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And everything is made of either concrete or metal, correct?
Yes.
All right. Most of the time you have a cellmate.
All the time.
Okay. No privacy.
Correct.
Showers in common areas.
Correct.
Toilets. You don't get a special room to use the bathroom.
Right.
Okay. It's filthy. You talked about feces.
All the time.
When you on the ground, on the walls, things like that.
Yes.
Okay. Standing water in the showers.
Who?
Standing water.
We call it nut juice.
What do you call it?
Nut juice.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Schart, let's get on. We're painting the picture. Let's get on with what you want to ask.
Okay. The filth in Rice Street. To avoid that filth, you would be willing to tell lies, correct?
Correct.
All right. Let's talk about the danger of Rice Street. What's a shank?
A knife.
Okay. Knife made of just a random piece of metal, correct?
Whatever you can make with. Whatever you find.
Are shanks common in Rice Street?
Is they who?
Common.
What you mean?
I keep using that word. Is it unusual for people to have shanks in Rice Street? When I say people, I'm talking about the inmates.
You saying, do they have them?
Yes.
Yes. You better have one.
Okay. And is it a concern of yours that someone that doesn't like you would have a shank in Rice Street?
Yes.
Okay. You know jail, you know Rice Street to be a particularly dangerous place, correct?
Yes.
And it's a particularly dangerous place for you, correct?
Yes.
You would lie to avoid the dangers of Rice Street, correct?
Yes.
I want to talk about the isolation. Okay. In February of 2015, you were arrested, and let's be clear, you feel it was a bogus probation warrant, correct?
It was.
Right. You were on probation and they accused you of not completing your community service.
And I didn't even have community service to do.
And even if you did, you never heard of anyone getting locked up for failing to do community service on probation.
I even called my probation officer and she said she didn't do it.
Right. I understand. And so when they locked you up in February of 2015, they put you in isolation, correct?
That's what you want to call it.
Well, you said, I think the way you described it was the medical unit. There was sick people. It was disgusting. People were talking to themselves.
Yes. People were doing worse stuff than that, eating their stuff.
Okay. you would lie to avoid going back to that place that took you and put you in February of 2015, correct?
You talking about now?
No, I'm talking about on June 10th of 2015. You would have lied to avoid going right back to where they had you 3 months earlier.
Right?
Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS23Q, which is States 378 Yankee Echo, June 10th, 2015 at 4:16:13 to 4:16:36.
Do I need to listen to it?
I would appreciate it if you did. Thank you.
Man, I already be dead in here anyway. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, man, I do whatever it takes. Whatever, man. I hate jail. I promise you, God, man.
Because you can't, you want to live it out.
I was gonna take these niggas guns and bring these out myself. I would set them up myself. I would do whatever it takes. I will, man. I will.
Ms. Copeland, that was you and Investigator Dennis on June 10th, 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you told Investigator Dennis that you'd rather be dead than be sent back to jail.
Still will.
Okay. And you said you will do anything to stay out of jail.
This is what he said?
And do anything includes lying on others, correct?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Copeland, we're going to change the subject a little bit. I want to talk to you about some of these statements you made to the police, okay? In 2015, all right? And let me just ask you, you know, you said, I don't recall a lot when the police, when the Ms. Hilton asked you about things that you said in your statements in 2015, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was 9 years ago? About?
I guess.
Okay. In these meetings that the DA's office or Ms. Hilton or whomever had with you in June of 2024, prior to you testifying, did anyone offer to play those statements to you to remind you of what you said?
No.
Did anyone give you a transcript of what you said in those statements so you could review them before testifying?
No.
They just told you, if you don't remember, just say, I don't recall, correct?
Yes.
The reality is they just wanted to play those statements. That's why they wanted you here today, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Sustained.
Okay. Let's talk about January 11th, 2015, okay? That was in the early morning hours of January 11th, 2015, right?
Wait.
You met with Detective Thorpe. In
Oh,
the
yes.
early morning hours of January 11th, 2015. Okay. And you've stated you went to that meeting. You went voluntarily to clear your name, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you met with Detective Thorpe at the police headquarters, correct?
Yes.
You knew Detective Thorpe to be the lead investigator on the Donovan Thomas case. That's what he told you.
I can't remember.
Okay. Certainly, he asked you questions about the Donovan Thomas case, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And let's just talk about the timing of this meeting. If, and I know we're saying it did not happen, I want to be clear on that. If Demikian had told you something at the McDonald's right?
Now listen.
This meeting with Detective Thorpe would have been hours after Demekion made that statement, correct? It would have been the same night, just after midnight.
But he never told me that.
I understand. I understand he never told you that, but I'm saying if he did.
Are you saying that
The meeting was mere hours after.
it would have been?
Right, it would have been. Okay. And Detective Thorpe asked you about the Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
That's what his purpose of calling me down now.
And you showed up, and you went through your movements that day, correct?
Yeah.
Your movements from January 10th, 2015.
I think I did. He asked me where I been. That's what you asked me?
Right. And you went into details about everything that happened that day, correct?
I guess.
Okay. That meeting on January 11th, 2015, you never claimed that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendricks, Duwop, and Nard killed Donovan Thomas, did you? You never told him that on January 11, 2015.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And the reason you didn't tell him that is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, correct?
Right.
Let's talk about January 28th, 2015. That was your second recorded statement. And I understand what you've testified to. There may have been phone calls and all sorts of other communications in between there with police. But January 28, 2015 was your second recorded statement. Okay. You met with Investigator Dennis, Investigator Gaither, and Detective Thorpe on January 28, 2015, correct?
I don't know the date, but yes.
Okay. And they certainly asked you about the Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
I don't remember what they asked me.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a clip, but you would agree that January 28, 2015 would have been 18 days after, if Demekion Garlington had told you that information, it would have been 18 days later, this statement.
I guess. I don't keep up with time.
Okay, 28 minus 10 is 18, so 18 days between January 10, 2015 and January 28, 2015. You with me?
All right.
All right, cool. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS-20A, which is states 378 Yankee Beta from 722.37 to 724.40.
Jeff, what do you think, killed that?
Okay.
You're prime suspect, but move yourself out, people.
Okay, did you hear Investigator Dennis ask you, who do you think killed Nutt?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Who you think did?
I'll probably say that.
I'm just saying, like, word on the street is, you've been tried, convicted within the street.
Now they said two of my other partners well not so for it, but
Who?
they my head and dog. But they ain't have anything to
Who
do
was that?
I locked up.
Who was that? Clarence.
I think that's his name. Light skin like Mexican.
Yeah.
So they saying they did.
out though, right? Yeah, he had out.
Yeah, head out. They saying they did. You know what I'm saying? They said they trying to make it seem
What
like
do you think? Like, what do you think? What do you think happened?
Okay, right there, you said to Investigator Dennis, when asked who you think killed Nutt, you're saying, they're saying, meaning the streets, right?
Right.
Streets are saying Head and Doc, who are two people you know.
Right.
Those are street names, Head and Doc.
Right.
Streets are saying they did it, but you don't believe that.
Right.
Okay.
Like, real shit.
I think it got something to do with them. I think they did something.
They got another beef somewhere else.
Cause I been hearing stories like Nuts supposed to ran off on somebody with some, you know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
did
right.
you
When you said I think it had something to do with them. You were referring to If Gang, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I paused in the middle. I probably shouldn't have, but you started talking about the rumor was Nut ran off with something.
That's what I said.
Okay. And something would be narcotics.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the coast. Right. I'm reason I'm here because I'm with Doug and Birdman, right? And he come back to gym. Right. So they're nuts for the ran off on somebody with some and some jury. I don't know if they didn't say what it was. It's like he's supposed to ran off on them with something. And Rich Homie Corn supposed to give him $50,000 to meet a new plug. Like Rich Homie Corn told him this out his mouth. Yeah. Then Rich Homie Corn like he got $25,000 to have Tate killed. It's like from the picture you just showed me. Nah, Tate who just got shot the other night. Oh, in the car over there. Okay. He had 25.
Okay. So you continued to say that the rumor was that Nut, or I should say Donovan Thomas, you said Nut, ran off on someone, and that something would have been narcotics.
That's what I said.
Right. Nowhere in that answer did you say, well, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Doo-Wop and Nard killed Nut.
I did say that.
You didn't say that on January 28th.
I didn't say that.
Correct. I'm going to ask you to listen to what's been marked as DS20B, which is that same interview from 7:50:56 to 7:52:50.
Why was people saying Birdman have something to do with all this?
Because that's what they gonna do. They gonna do what they, like, I realized it. You know what I'm saying? They say they bagged me up. It might be, but they paying for it. So.
They finance it.
Yeah, that's what they saying. So I just like, man, whatever.
What about Nut stole his watch?
Stole what?
Birdman watch.
I doubt it. So when you go in Birdman's house, you're not gonna go in their room. This Shannon calling right there. But like every time you're in the Birdman house, you go in the living room. Don't nobody go in his room.
What about Kels and Greedy still in the watch? Still in front of the phone?
Never heard nothing back.
What about Kel knocking off Nut? Doubt it? No.
I ain't gonna say I doubt it. I
heard that.
I'm gonna say I doubt it. I don't know. Because when him and Thug, like, he was just like, well, call Nut. I'm gonna tell Nut about this.
Like his big homie.
Yeah.
Like the big brother, like I'm telling like the boss.
Yeah, like he just like, I gotta tell Nut what he need to say. I'm looking at him like, why you gotta tell Nut? But I ain't never seen that. Like, look right here.
What about Thug knocking off Nut?
Like I said, I really can't say, like, when it came out of Nut, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
Who did you hear? You said that you heard just in the streets that Head and who was the other dude?
But they say they got locked up for it. Head got locked up with the gun, they killed Nut and all this shit here.
Yeah, right.
It'd be like, it'd be 50% true, 50% falsehood.
It'd be 100% lie.
No, he did get locked up.
Okay. So in that clip, Investigator Dennis is again asking you about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
That's what I heard.
And he floated a theory about Birdman being behind killing Donovan Thomas because Donovan Thomas stole a watch of Birdman's, right? You heard that?
Yes.
And you said you don't know anything about that or you doubt it, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then he asked about Greedy. And Greedy is Donovan Thomas's brother, right?
I guess.
Okay. And you said you didn't know anything about that.
Right.
Okay. And then he asked about Kel.
Yes.
Kelvin Watts, Kel, killing Donovan Thomas. And you said you never heard anything about that.
Yes.
And then he asked about, I think he said Thugger. We're talking about Jeffrey Williams. And you said you don't know nothing about that.
Right.
Correct? All right. That second time when you were asked about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, you never said that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Nard, and Doo-Wop killed Donovan Thomas, did you?
Because he didn't tell me that.
I understand. Okay, I'm going to play DS20C, and I'm going to ask you to listen to this clip as well.
My girl, she get a lot of information from her friends. She got a lot of friends, so they be around me. Lucien was talking at the studio, and there was a girl in there. We met with one of them, and she was my girlfriend. And she said that they nobody do that nothing. You know what I'm saying? They was all like Kara and K Rob somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Kel and who?
K.
Who was K?
I sent you pictures of that to them. I think I sent it to the other too. They had the chop on in the picture. Oh yeah. And the gym was in the car. Yeah, them two, Rob somebody, and they supposed to came back. This was they talk about the studio. You know what I'm saying? They just put my name on it. They covered it up. Make it seem like they ain't got beef in the streets, whatever. Yeah. And then they like, she was like, they know what they do it. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna keep playing on him. And she was like, K, when the nigga got killed, K first one called everybody like, we killed Nut. Tell the mom then we did. He the first one started my name. And they like, Kel went along with it. So they had Jerry Ross, like, then they did, like, Nut died, then they started. That same day? I don't know when. They like, they Jerry Ross, and Nick's supposed to come back for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kel Ross fly, plug, fly. He robbed one of them.
So, in that clip, Mr. Copeland, again, you were asked about your understanding or what you've heard about who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
Right.
And you said that you said that your girlfriend or a female friend of yours was at the studio and she was told that Kel and Kay had robbed somebody.
That's what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that the people that Kel and Kay robbed came back and killed Donovan Thomas as revenge for being robbed.
Yes.
And you said that Kay then started putting it on you to cover his own tracks.
Yes.
And you also specifically said your understanding was Kelvin Watts, the robbery he did was to Fly's plug.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're clear. Fly is Mr. Jervin Henry. Do you know his government name?
No.
Okay. He's someone who runs clubs, correct? And runs TIG, the record label.
I guess.
Okay. And when you say plug, what do you mean by plug? That's a drug distributor, correct?
That's just a phrase that we use. I don't know.
Is it involved in the drug game?
I guess.
Okay. The bottom line is you gave, on that third clip, you gave some more information about things you heard, but you never said, detectives, let me tell you, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Doo-Wop, and Nard killed Nut. Did you?
I never said that.
Right. And the reason you never said that on January 28th, 2015 is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, had you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had, or no, you hadn't?
I haven't.
Okay, and the reason you hadn't made up that lie, let's just be clear, on January 28, 2015, no one was trying to lock you up, right?
I just didn't have no reason to.
Right. You had no reason to finesse at that time.
Right. They lost like I was.
I want to ask you about February 20th, 2015. On that date, you met with Investigator Curry, correct? And let me just I think his name is Curry. It might be Kerr, but it was the investigator about those people shooting at you while you were holding your baby. Remember that?
Yes.
And you remember that investigator?
I remember. I didn't know no name, but yeah.
Okay. And that would have been 40 days if Demekion Garlington had in fact told you that my client and others were responsible for Donovan Thomas's death. That would have been 40 days after you received that information, if that had occurred, right?
I don't get it.
Okay. It would have been a little bit over a month. February 20th, 2015 is a little bit over a month from January 10th, 2015, correct?
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay. And you were asked in that interview about the Donovan Thomas situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know.
All right.
I can't.
Well, you didn't say anything about Demekion Garlington telling you that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Doo-Wop and Nard had killed Donovan Thomas in that interview, did you?
No.
And the reason is because you hadn't made up the lie yet, right?
Right.
February 21st, Detective Gaither and Detective Thorpe had you in there. And they were arresting you for that bogus probation warrant, right?
Yes.
And you knew it was bogus. You didn't think that it was actually going to stick, did you?
Right.
They asked you about the Donovan Thomas case. And this would have been 41 days after Demekion supposedly gave you that information, right?
Right.
And you never told them that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Doo-Wop, and Nard killed Nutt, did you?
Right.
We can agree that in the 4 recorded meetings prior to June 10, 2015, you never claimed Demekion Garlington said those things about my client or Mr. Kendrick, correct?
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about June 10, 2015 and what makes that date different. On June 10th, 2015, okay, we're going to that interview. You with me?
Yes.
All right, appreciate you. You met with Investigator Gaither, Investigator Dennis, Investigator Thorpe, and Federal Agent Cunningham, correct?
No. I didn't meet with them.
They brought you to the interview room and they came in the room.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't choose to meet with them.
No.
All right, and let's just talk about the circumstances. And I'm going to show you a picture that's already in evidence. I believe it's 378 Yankee Echo 1. If I may approach and get that, Your Honor.
You may.
All right. Mr. Copeland, when you go to jail, you wear a blue jail outfit that's given to you by the Fulton County Sheriff Department, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it says Fulton County Jail or Fulton County inmate on the shirt and the pants, correct?
Yes.
You absolutely hate wearing that blue outfit, correct?
Without a doubt.
Okay. In this picture, you are not wearing one of those blue outfits. You're wearing street clothes, correct?
Right.
Okay, but let's just be clear. In that picture on June 10, 2015, when you're being interviewed, your hands are shackled together, correct?
Yes.
You have leg irons on, correct?
Yes.
And the leg irons are attached to an anchor on the ground so you cannot get up and run, correct?
And they're hurting.
And they're hurting. And you knew that it was only, unless something drastic happened, it was only a matter of hours before you were going to have a blue Fulton County jumpsuit on, correct?
Yes.
The circumstances of you being brought to that interview room on June 10th, 2015, where federal agents kicked down Miss Quarterman's door that day, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they kicked down that door looking for you because they had an arrest warrant for you.
Yes.
They had an arrest warrant for you for the April 28, 2015 possession of a firearm incident at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
Okay. And while in the apartment, they saw some things, correct?
Yes.
And they went and got a search warrant.
I don't know.
You're not sure if they got a search warrant. Okay. The bottom line is they searched your apartment.
They did.
Okay. And they found a Smith & Wesson handgun in the kitchen of that apartment, correct?
They found a gun. I don't know what kind.
Okay. Was it a handgun?
I never saw it.
Okay. They also found a stolen laptop computer in your apartment, correct?
That's what they said.
All right. They also searched Deshaun's car, correct?
No.
Well, didn't they find stolen IDs and other stolen property?
That was a rental car from
Okay.
her mama rented.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. They found a stolen IDs and other property in a rental car that was associated with you, correct? That you had been driving.
Yes.
And also on June 10th, 2015, your daughter's birthday was coming up.
7 days.
7 days from that date.
Yes.
And you had plans to have a big celebration for her birthday.
Yes.
Even though you didn't have a blue jumpsuit on during the interview, Investigator Gaither informed you that you were under arrest for various charges, correct?
Yes.
And you were under investigation for various other charges.
Yes.
Okay. She told you that you were being charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon for the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you were being charged with reckless conduct for leaving the gun on the bleachers at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you were being charged with gang charges for possessing a gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
And you knew that you knew that you weren't getting a bond for the gang charges at
Right.
first appearance.
Right.
You were going to have to sit for a while because of those gang charges,
Yes.
unless something drastic happened.
Yes.
You were also told that there were that they were investigating the stolen MacBook computer found in your apartment.
Yes.
You were told that they were investigating the stolen IDs and other property that was found in the rental car.
Yes.
And Investigator Gaither told you that she knew that stolen property found in the rental car was taken during a series of auto breakings in the area, correct?
Yes.
You also had a Henry County bench warrant.
Yes.
I believe you had another bench warrant out of the city of Atlanta involving a four-wheeler. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair. And eventually, Investigator Cunningham also told you that you were facing potentially federal charges
Yes.
for the gun that was found in the apartment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Investigator Gaither told you it's real now. It's about to be real, right?
Yes.
What'd you take that to mean?
Exactly what she said.
She was telling you the way you took it, it was time to get to talking, correct?
Yes.
If you wanted to get out anytime soon.
Yes.
They told you that there was no way around that charge at the Dunbar Rec Center, that it was on video,
Yes.
that you were dead to rights,
Yes.
that they had all the control in the situation, correct?
Yes. I think it said open and shut case.
And let's be clear. Even though you don't have that jail uniform on in this picture, you were thinking about how you just got out of jail 3 months prior. You had just been in jail in that horrible unit with feces and people talking to themselves and people eating whatever they were eating and the isolation. And you were thinking about that on June 10th, 2015, correct?
Yes.
Could you play, Mr. Kokomo, could you play what's been marked DS23B, and this is from States 378 Yankee Echo 94048 to 94229.
Okay, what you're here for is your warrants from number 2. Can you tell me what's going on with that? Can you tell me what's going on with that? With that weapon? How'd you get it? Number 1. Because I got a version of how you got it, but I want to hear from you. How'd you get that? How did you get it? I got it. Because you had it. We got the video, bro. We got the video. So my question is to you, how did you become in possession of that? But we ain't really gonna do it back and forth today. I love y'all.
We ain't going back and forth today. That's what Investigator Yater told you.
Say that again.
We ain't going back and forth today.
Right.
You took that to mean that they are in complete control, correct?
That's what it means.
You took that to mean that you needed to tell them what they wanted to know, or you weren't getting out, correct?
This is it. That's what I took it as.
You are, because I'm sitting at that place. This is an opportunity for you to help you. I'm asking how you.
Okay. You just heard Investigator Gaither say, this is your opportunity for you to help you. Heard that?
Yes.
You took that to mean that this is your chance to give the state or give the police what they want to help your situation.
Nah, this is game time. It's time for me to finesse my way.
Okay. And do you remember when Attorney Steele played that video, I guess it was yesterday, with Agent Cunningham talking about the federal charges? Okay, I'm not going to play that video again.
Thank you.
But I am going to talk to you about a few things that were said. What you asked, I got charges with the feds, and Agent Cunningham said, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. The police are telling you that you can talk your way out of this situation if you work with them, correct?
Yes.
Agent Cunningham told you you're clearly guilty. She told you that they had you dead to rights. Do you remember that?
I think she said open and shut case.
Okay. You took that to mean they have complete control and you need to play their game if you wanted to get out, correct?
Yes.
Agent Cunningham told you about the charges you were facing. She told you that federal sentences don't have parole.
Yes.
No early release.
Yes.
She told you that with federal cases, they don't typically let prisoners stay in Atlanta, right?
Right.
She said that they were typically going to send you to some other state to serve your federal time behind this.
Right.
You didn't want to be separated. You love your daughter, don't you?
With all my heart.
You post about your daughter on Instagram and you're proud of your daughter, correct?
Yes,
And you consider yourself a good father, don't you?
I try to be.
Okay. And you did not want to be separated from your daughter in some federal prison in another state, did you?
Who want to?
Understood. And Agent Cunningham also said that to her understanding, you're a 3-time convicted felon, making you an armed career criminal in the federal system, correct? Remember hearing that?
Yes,
She told you that you were facing 15 years without parole, plus another 10 years without parole for the gun charges, correct?
yes,
25 years without parole, and that's not even including the conspiracy charges.
right.
You were 23 at the time, and Agent Cunningham told you if you don't play ball, you're going to be locked up in a federal prison in another state until you are 48 years old. Isn't that correct?
Yes,
Wasn't that said to you
yes.
on June 10th, 2015?
In the interrogation room.
Miss Agent Cunningham also said that all this is up to you. It's totally up to you, right?
Yes,
She told you that she reports to the U.S. attorney, and she can tell the U.S. attorney what you did to help yourself out.
I think we all heard what she said to me,
Okay? Well, what did you take that to mean?
that I need to help myself out.
Okay? Does that include lying on others?
That means that this is my chance to get myself out of this situation.
It was time to finesse?
Yeah,
Could you, Mr. Kokomo, could you play 23E? And for the record, Your Honor, DS-23E is States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo, 1031 to 103250.
Do you understand the right that nothing had? Do you understand the right that nothing had?
Yeah.
What was he?
I don't know. I didn't know he was.
He was like a third or fourth ranking blood in Georgia.
But what I'm saying is, bro, there was between third and ninth.
You didn't let me finish though. When you go to prison, your name is on there, regardless of if you did or if you didn't. Thug ain't in jail. Thug ain't in jail. Thug on the European tour or whatever the fuck.
Did you just hear Investigator Dennis pointing out while you're in the interrogation room, Thug, Mr. Jeffrey Williams, is on a European tour?
I couldn't understand nothing that was said.
Okay. Did Investigator Dennis bring up the European tour that Jeffrey Williams on? Is that something you brought up, or Investigator Dennis, to your recollection?
I guess he did.
Okay. Can you keep playing?
The one that's gonna go courtside for that. And it ain't no protective custody. It should. So you the one that's gonna have to speak on what you need to, if you need to speak on what you need to speak on, help.
Okay. Did you hear Investigator Dennis say that you were going courtside?
Yeah, I can't hear it the way it sounds.
Okay. And that's okay. Did you hear him? I'm just going to keep asking. If you didn't hear, you didn't hear. Did you hear him saying that there's no protective custody?
I don't know what he said.
Okay.
I can't say I can't.
Did you hear him say, you need to speak on what you need to speak on, right after bringing up Jeffrey Williams in the European tour?
Y'all ears work better than mine. So you heard what he said.
Okay.
I can't say.
Okay. I'm going to play another portion of the clip. I'm going to ask you to listen, but I understand if you can't hear it, you can't hear it. Continue to play.
Yourself. That's what you gotta think about.
But even
Yourself.
though I'm still gonna get paid.
You going to jail. That is-
But you can determine how long you want this to stand, but guess what?
Did you hear Investigator Gaither tell you you're going to jail,
I heard that.
but you get to determine how long.
No, I can't hear it again.
Yes.
But you gotta think about
But
it.
even if you go, I'm still gonna get period. You go to
jail today.
but you can determine how long you want this stand for. Guess what?
What did you take that to mean when Investigator Gaither says you're going to jail, but you get to determine how long?
She gave me hope.
And what would you have to do to determine? You wanted to not be in jail at all, but certainly not long, correct?
Right.
So what did you feel you needed to do?
Listen to her and seek and I finesse my way out of it.
Does that include lying?
That's the first thing first.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS23D, which is states 378 Yankee Echo, 10:04:20 to 10:06:25?
I ain't had no parts like the shooting, none of these. I ain't had no part. I just ain't even do it for the same. I mean, when they started doing this shit, everybody call my name because they out. Who did it? Then they be coming naming me song. It ain't even me. I mean, the way y'all look at me, y'all supposed to be sending them like it. I mean, y'all pay.
Did you just hear yourself say that people are accusing you of things?
Bro, I can't hear nothing in there, bro.
Okay, could you play that again, Mr.?
I can't hear it. You can play it 1,000 times.
Okay, we're going to try it one more time because I think it's important. But Mr. Copeland, if you can't hear it, we'll move on, okay?
Y'all ears are better than mine.
I understand that. I'm not blaming you.
I ain't had no parts like the shooting, none of these. I ain't had no part. I just ain't even do it for the same. I mean, when they started doing this shit, everybody call my name because they out. Who did it? Then they be coming naming me song. It ain't even me. I mean, the way y'all look at me, y'all supposed to be sending them like it. I mean.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, did you hear yourself say, I just hang out with Thug for the fame?
No.
Okay. Did you hear yourself say that people are saying that you're committing these crimes, certain crimes, but it's not you?
I didn't hear him. I heard, I said Shannon's name, but I don't know what I said with it.
Did you hear, well, do you remember, regardless of what you heard, do you remember saying everything that people are blaming me for, they need to look at Shannon?
I probably did. I can't hear what I said.
Now that you have this immunity agreement from the state, you acknowledge that you were committing crimes back then, correct?
What you mean?
Well, you've acknowledged that, and we're going to get to it later, but you've acknowledged that you and Threat shut up Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barbershop, for instance. Right? You testified to that.
All right.
Okay. So when you said, I ain't doing nothing, when people are blaming me, they need to be looking at Shannon, that was not true. That was you trying to shift blame from yourself. That was you finessing.
But I already said it.
I understand that. But that's an example of you finessing, correct? And shifting the blame from you to Shannon, right?
I said that to you, and I said that to them, and I'm saying it again. I have lied, and you're gonna keep sitting here asking me the same question. You just said a minute ago that you weren't gonna ask me the same question.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play something not that you said, what other people said to you, okay? And I'm gonna ask you to listen, and if you can't hear, you can't hear, okay?
All right.
I mean, y'all kids. I plan on take care of my kids, man. I mean, fuck that, man. I ain't did nothing. I ain't shoot the houses. I ain't shot nobody. I mean, man, only I had a gun because the Tell told me, man, I had the right to defend myself. Because the same night he got killed, I came down here. I don't get to tell him. But guess what I was just thinking, like, man, these niggas thug out my home, man. Even right now, I'm still thinking about it. Like, shit, man, I just fucked myself up, man. Just worse and worse.
Yeah.
I want to say,
I don't know. I'll make that decision.
I ain't have no point.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
We'll talk to the USA. The judge makes.
Did you hear yourself ask Agent Cunningham if your case is going to the feds?
Yes.
Did you hear Agent Cunningham say, I don't know, I just talked to the AUSA?
No.
Okay. Keep playing.
Decision on, what's going down there.
I ain't have no voice. I ain't.
But you were, I don't know if you had no part of that. That's yet to be determined, but you had every part of the gun that was found today.
No, you keep saying the gun don't found today. I didn't have that gun. Though I keep saying y'all no fingerprints. My fingerprint never come back on that gun.
Do you know what actual and constructive possession is?
Been around.
Yeah, be around.
But I didn't know what it was in there though. Just like she said she didn't know, I didn't know.
Man, I knew. The baby didn't know. She alive.
Now, this is what I'm saying here. Me and her just, we were there. But I wasn't there yesterday.
But you were there this morning when they found it, sweetheart.
You know how I got there this morning? You know how
Well,
I had to do it.
but that's irrelevant. You were there. When they came and brought you up, it was there, you were there. That's all I need. That's on you.
So what you need me to do? I don't know, I'm just trying to
I mean, that's on you.
It's on me. It ain't no way I can get out of it.
Help yourself.
I'm trying. That's all.
Help you. That's you talking. That's your start.
Did you hear yourself, Mr. Copeland, ask Agent Cunningham, what do you need me to do? I'm just trying to get out of jail.
Yes.
Okay. And did you hear Agent Cunningham respond, you help yourself. You help yourself?
Yes.
Help us help you?
Yes.
You're talking, that's a start?
I said yes.
Okay. Help us help you. Did you take that as it was time for you to finesse, to start telling stories on others, to get yourself out of the situation?
Yes.
I got one more clip I'm going to ask you to listen to, Mr. Copeland. And this is actually from February 21st, 2015. Mr. Kokomo, I'm going to ask you to publish what's already DS24A, which is already, it's a clip from States Exhibit 378 Yankee Delta from 433.33 to 436.11. And again, that's from the February 21st, 2015 interview with Investigator Gaither and Detective Thorpe, okay?
Worse on me. You know how they got me in jail? They got me in the back. Somebody protecting me. If you feel like you need to protect me, why they get me out of jail? No, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's understand.
Now, you recognize that as Detective Thorpe's voice, correct? He's not on the video. He's off the camera, but you recognize that as his voice, correct?
You play it again?
Yep. Just back up 5 seconds.
Yeah. No, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's understand. It is not Burger King. You're not gonna have it your fucking way. I ain't trying to play myself.
You remember Detective Thorpe telling you that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you to listen to what he tells you. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page with Detective Thorpe, okay?
I haven't done no. Hear me out, because you need to get somebody who's gonna talk real shit to you. I ain't gonna fuck around with you. I already gonna tell you. I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna help you cross the street. None of that. Let me hear me. Hear me.
You locked up for probation violation. Whatever happened between you and the parole board and the probation unit, that's on y'all. That's on y'all. Now, myself and Detective Gator, we're going to take time out of our off day to get you out of jail and talk to you to see whatever information you give can be used to help you. But you got to give in order to get. All you want to think that all you want is give me. But you want to, but you don't want to give nothing back. Here's the thing. I didn't ask and I told you before, you and I, we're not going to do a 68. I'm not going to blow you and you owe me one. No, it don't work that way. You understand what I'm getting at? You understand what I'm getting at? Because I ain't going to fuck around with you no more. You want people to help you out, but then you step and stop at the certain line and say, well, you figure out the rest. I got the information.
So, Mr. Copeland, that was on February 21st, 2015. You would agree that Detective Thorpe made these comments to you before you first lied and said that Mr. Garlington told you the information on Shannon and others, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Investigator Thorpe said, I ain't gonna F around with you, right?
Yes.
You have to give in order to get.
Yes.
You want to say, give me, you don't give back.
Yes.
And of course, the give me was you getting out of trouble, getting out of jail, right?
Right.
Okay. You and we aren't going to do a 68. I'm not going to blow you and you owe me one.
Right.
You said that?
Yes.
Did you understand the message that he was getting across when he said that?
Right.
We are not going to no DA and say, you cut us a break and he ain't give us nothing. You heard him say that?
Right.
I have the information, but I'm not going to say anything else. Y'all just need to go ahead and check me out of jail, and I'm good after that. No, bro, it don't work that way. Whatever fucking TV show you was watching, they motherfucker was wrong. I don't even look at TV.
I can't hear
So
you.
whoever told you whatever you thinking, you're dead ass wrong. We're not going to go to no district attorney and say, can you go ahead and cut him a break because he gave us nothing? Nigga, don't work that way. When the fuck did life start working that way? It don't work that way. That's a fuck fantasy. Man. You gotta give to give. And that's just being real. Now we.
Did you hear Investigator Gaither back Detective Thorpe up and tell you, you got to give to get, and that's just being real?
Yeah, I just heard it.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, these are just some examples. The reality is the detectives in this case had been encouraging you to tell stories on others to get yourself out of trouble, correct?
For the 100th time, I've been telling you that.
Okay. You knew how to finesse on your own, right? But the detectives were also encouraging you to finesse, correct?
They were tricking me.
As I understand it, Mr. Copeland, your testimony is that you told many lies in these interviews in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to just review with you some of the lies that you told, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. First of all, I want to talk to you about the gray infinity. Okay?
I'm listening.
All right. Through the questioning of the police, and I don't know, maybe through other information that you've been given, you're aware that there's a surveillance video of the shooting of Donovan Thomas, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that the surveillance video shows a gray sedan, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that the police believe it to be an Infinity, correct?
They put it on the news.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-19A, which is a clip from States 378 Yankee A, which is the January 11, 2015 interview from 3/18/47 to 3/19/38.
Who's Walter Lee Maddox? Who? Who's Walter Maddox?
No nickname?
Did y'all ever rent or own an Infinity?
Infinity.
Y'all ever rent one of those cars before? Have you ever been stopped in an Infinity before?
Have I?
Yeah. No accident in an Infinity?
No.
A Maxima?
Have I ever had a cover in?
Mm-hmm.
No. Let me think.
Anytime.
I had a cover in the Pontiac. That was a couple years ago. I ain't had no red. I ain't had no cover. I ain't had no red sleep. I ain't had no money in it.
Okay, this is the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
Can you say it again?
This is the same night. This interview was the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And Detective Thorpe, you heard him. He asked if you've ever owned or rented an Infinity, correct?
That's what he said.
And you said no. Right?
Right?
He asked if you ever wrecked an Infinity. Right?
Right?
And you said no.
Right?
Okay. I'm going to publish, Your Honor, with your permission, DS-19B, which is a clip from the same interview on 378 Yankee Alpha, States Exhibit 378 Yankee Alpha from 3/20/28 to 3/20/48. It's just 20 seconds.
This is a video?
Yes. 3/20/28 to 3/20/48.
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray?
It's not paying.
Gray? Y'all ever?
Is it up now?
No.
Okay. Could you start it over?
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray? A gray Infinity Q45 before?
A truck?
No.
A cup?
Yeah.
Not I know of.
Actually, brother, maybe his car. A red car he had rented or something like that. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. In that clip, again, Detective Thorpe asked you about whether you ever had a gray Infinity, correct?
Right?
And you said, not that I know of.
Right?
Okay. Those were your statements on January 11, 2015, hours after Donovan Thomas was shot, correct?
Right?
Okay. I want to talk to you about the reality. The reality is that you asked Jeffrey Williams to rent you a gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Or I should say you asked him to rent you a car and it ended up being a gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. The reality is that on the night of June 9th, going into the morning of June 10th, the same day that Donovan Thomas was shot, you were driving that Infinity on the highway, correct?
I don't know. I can't remember when I was driving it.
We just saw your testimony from earlier in this trial.
Yeah, but you being specific about the time. I don't know.
Okay. The reality is,
I don't know when I written on the expressway. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Do you agree that it was, I'm not asking for a time, do you agree that it was on the evening of January 9th? It was nighttime that you wrecked.
It was
correct?
nighttime.
You were speeding on the highway and you hit some cones.
I lost control, yeah.
And that was, I believe in your testimony, you said you wrecked the car. And let me be clear, Quindarius Zachary, Lil D from Cleveland, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Lil D from Cleveland was in that car, that Infinity, with you on the night you wrecked.
Yes.
Okay. And after wrecking the car, you guys reattached the bumper on the side of the highway, correct?
How you know that?
Is it true?
I'm listening.
Okay. And after you reattached the bumper, that's when you went and pulled up on threat Trevante Turner at a music studio somewhere around Northside Drive, I believe is what you said.
Yes.
Correct? And you gave that car to that Infinity to Trevante Turner.
Yes.
Okay. And in your testimony, you said then you went home, fell asleep, and the next day you woke up, and that's when the Donovan Thomas shooting occurred. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just working through this with you. I'm not trying to trick you. So based on your testimony, you were driving that car, that Infinity, on the evening of January 9th going into January 10th, correct?
I guess.
Of 2015 with Mr. Zachary.
I guess.
And you gave that Infinity to your good friend, Threat, in the early morning hours of January 10th, 2015, correct?
I gave it to him at nighttime. It was dark.
Okay. So you don't remember if it was before midnight or after midnight. Is that what you're saying?
I don't keep up with the time.
Okay, that's fine. The bottom line is you were specifically asked about that Infinity or an Infinity hours after Donovan Thomas was shot. And you denied ever being in possession of an Infinity, correct?
Say that again.
When you were asked on January 11th, early in the morning, talking to Detective Thorpe, when Detective Thorpe, the lead investigator of the Donovan Thomas murder, asked you about possessing a gray Infinity, you denied that you ever had one, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center. As I understand your testimony, or as I understand your statements, let me back up. I'm sorry. At the Dunbar Rec Center, we're talking about a Diamondback 223 assault rifle, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about a handgun. We're talking about a semi-automatic machine gun? Is that a fair assessment?
A chopper.
A chopper. Okay. And in your statements back in 2015, you repeatedly denied possession of that gun, didn't you?
They put it on me.
Okay. And your testimony actually here today is that you were just there playing basketball and they put it on you.
That's what the video would show.
Okay. You specifically said in your statements when you were trying to get out of jail, I ain't do nothing, right?
Right.
Okay. The reality is that you pled to that case in federal court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In federal court, you acknowledged possessing that gun.
Yes.
Okay. And you were sentenced.
Yes.
Okay. And you served, and to be fair to you, you served your sentence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the stolen IDs in the rental car and the laptop in the apartment on June 10, 2015, okay? And that's the day that the federal agents kicked into Sean's door and locked you up. And that's also the same day that you made up the story and lied and said Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon and others were responsible for killing Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you play DS23I for me, Mr. Kokomo? And that's States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo from June 10th, 2015, from 11:25:01 to 11:26:20.
Like I said, you didn't say that. You said, I tell you, did that shit. Yeah. Okay. That one of them? Need the accurate, little Mike.
Pause.
Can you play it again?
Yes, we can.
Like I said, you didn't say that. You said I said you did that shit. Yeah. Okay. They want to know now? You need to answer it. Little Mike. Little Mike quiz.
In that clip, you're being asked about how those stolen items ended up in your apartment and your rental car, correct?
Yes.
And you're telling the investigators that you didn't do those auto breakings that resulted in those items being stolen, correct?
Right.
You're saying it was Little Mike and Quez from Etheridge?
Yes.
You ain't never heard of them? You ain't never heard of them? They want him. Whatever they call themselves out there. I'm pretty away. You pull out the other day about 5 times with y'all and nothing.
There's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers out there.
How am I gonna know it's them?
You.
Well,
Why you got it now?
I don't know it. Why I got it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to jewels off of them. What that mean? Make me some money off of them.
What, sell somebody out there?
Nah, just like, I mean, just like,
What's the burger
make money off of them.
How?
How
What's the
did you
jewel?
get it? How did you get it? Shit, then I got it. When they bought the car. Tay bought the car back to me. Wait a minute, you let Tay borrow the Jeep. Yeah.
Lady, bro.
No. You know what I'm talking about. You talking about Trevante. Yeah. You let Trevante use the car. Yeah, he's supposed to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But when they pull that car, I let it go.
Okay. There you're saying that you gave the car to Javante, who gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you would agree that detectives Gaither and Dennis are telling you we've never even heard of Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was the finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You invented those people to take the heat off of you and put it on fictional characters.
I done told y'all that's what I do.
That's your finesse, right? The reality is that stolen merchandise was found in your apartment and in your rental car, and you invented fictional characters to take the heat off yourself, right? I know you're going to say, I told you that's what I do,
I guess.
but I got to ask the questions. You understand? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. October 27, 2021. Okay. Do you recognize the people in that photograph?
Yes.
Okay. And who are those people?
Me and the police.
Okay. And do you know either of the police officers' names?
Miss V, and I think that the white man named Kelly, something like that.
Okay. Could the Caucasian gentleman be known as Investigator Kettle?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And Ms. V is Investigator Viverito?
Yeah, the probation officer.
Okay. And are you in an interrogation room in that photo?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a photo from the interrogation of you on October 27, 2021?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would ask to admit DS-25C into evidence.
All right.
Mr. Kokomo, could you publish that? And like I asked you about the photo from June 10, 2015, I'm going to ask about this photo as well. You don't appear to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, are you?
No.
Okay. And I can't tell if were your arms shackled together during that interview?
My leg.
All right. And we see you're wearing Timberland boots, and we see a chain right next to the boot, correct?
It's on my leg.
Right. And that's shackling you to the ground.
Yes.
You are under arrest in this photo.
Yes.
Okay. And you know that you are soon to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, correct?
That's what they told me.
Okay. And the allegations of that case were you were pulled over at Atlantic Station in Atlanta, correct?
No.
Where were you?
Walking.
Okay, you were walking. All right. According to the police, they searched a car that they were saying was yours, right?
Yes.
And they found a handgun under the car seat, correct?
That's what they claim.
Okay. And you were a convicted felon, so you're not allowed to possess the handgun.
But I was walking.
Okay, I understand that's what you're saying. But you were charged with reckless conduct and possession of firearm by a convicted felon, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No. I was charged with driving with suspended license and a firearm.
Okay. Thank you for that correction. When you say firearm, you're talking about possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a little complication with that explanation. You were, in fact, searched after you were arrested, correct?
I was tased and everything.
Okay. And when the police searched your clothing, correct?
Yes.
And they actually found a magazine in your pocket, and bullets in your pocket, correct?
That's what they say.
In the pocket of the pants you were wearing, correct?
That's what they say.
Okay. And when I say a magazine, that's a component of a gun that holds the bullets, correct?
I guess.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS25B, which is from 10/27/21, interview from 2/23/05 to 2/23/58?
I think that video has been tendered and admitted.
Has it, do you know?
It has not.
I am asking to, well, I'll go about this a different way. Thank you, Ms. Hill.
I don't have an objection, so I'm just saying it's not admitted.
I might not need to play the video. Mr. Copeland, do you remember in that interview, you were asked about if that's not your gun in the car, and if you were just walking, why do you have a magazine with bullets in your pocket? Correct? You remember them asking you that?
Can I speak to my lawyer?
Yes. Well,
Yes, you can. Let's take a break anyway. We'll take about 15 minutes.
they're not going to prosecute you for those things, right? That's what they told you. That's the promise they made to you. Correct?
Characterization of the evidence.
Sustained.
Is that your understanding?
Nothing I say can be used against me.
Okay. There's one exception.
If I say that I did, yeah,
Okay. The Donovan Thomas thing.
yes.
Mr. Copeland, you don't know any of these gentlemen back here to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas, do you?
What you mean?
Back in 2015, you didn't know any of these gentlemen to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas.
I never said I did.
Okay. The reality, Mr. Copeland, is you were the person who had a problem with Donovan Thomas. Isn't that correct? You were the one that broke into Donovan Thomas's car, correct?
So in facts, not in evidence.
Overruled.
You've admitted to it. You're the one that stole Donovan Thomas's chain, correct? Ms. Copeland, you're the one that shot up Donovan Thomas's friend, Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, in 2014, correct? You're the one that was going back and forth with Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You've called his brother a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
Mr. Copeland's not answering the question, so
Yeah,
he needs a
apparently
response.
Mr. Schart doesn't care whether he answers or not, so it's fine with me. I mean,
fine
if
with
he
me
wants
too.
an answer, he can say that.
You called Kelvin Watts a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
And I don't think nobody walking earth would not agree with it.
You said that people would cheer if he died. Correct?
I will. Back in the days.
You've shot at Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You're the one who got jumped by Donovan Thomas's brother on January 6, 2015 at Club Crucial, correct? You, not any of these gentlemen. Right? And you're the one that shot up TIG recording studio on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that correct? The Bloods had a gang meeting on the Thursday before Donovan Thomas was killed, 2 days before, on the same day that you shot up TIG studios. Isn't that correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
In that statement to the police, you said that the whole meeting was based on me. Not them, on you. That Mo, from behind the wall, had put the green light on you. Not anyone else. He put the green light on you for what was going on with you. The guy who stole from Donovan Thomas. The guy who shot up the studio with Rich Homie Quan and Donovan Thomas in the studio that night.
Yeah, objection, I was assuming facts not in the evidence and harassment of their witness.
Overruled.
You've told the police at that meeting, Donovan Thomas went whoop, approved of the orders to kill you. You told the police that the gang members handed out guns to younger people. And the plan was to trick you to come to the gas station. And the only reason you weren't killed is because someone told you about it. In January 2015, Donovan Thomas was coming after you.
Objection, speculation, again, assuming facts not in evidence.
Sustained.
Mr. Copeland, you're not the type of guy to back down, are you? No further questions.
All right. Okay, I know that the state is going to have redirect, but I think it's going to last longer than we've got for this evening. So we will come back on Tuesday of next week to finish up with Mr. Copeland.